So I'm in the studio here with Shepard Fairey in his studio, which is in his garage in Los Angeles, and we're going to talk a little bit about his work. So Shepard, could you tell us a little bit about what you're working on here and some of the thoughts on what you do?
Sure. Well, this is I've moved up in the world. This is my fancy two-car garage studio. Most of that side is just junk, but over here I'm working mostly on stenciling. My work is mostly methods of reproduction like stenciling and screen printing. A lot of people know the street work that I do, which is screen prints and Xeroxes and stuff like that. But when I was younger, in high school, the first if you want to call it printmaking method that I learned was just cut stencils with an X-Acto knife to make mostly bootleg punk shirts, and I've reverted back to that methodology for a lot of my art. So these are shelves worth of stencils. I just make stencils of any sort of iconography of mine, and I make smaller ones to layer up in the pieces, and then I make bigger ones to make more iconic imagery. But a lot of the work that I'm doing now is still based on the idea of a bold, iconic image, like I'm known for with this sort of propaganda style of a lot of my posters and everything. But one thing I always loved about street art was the decay and the layering of what was going on the walls, and then once you put your work into that context, what would happen to it. Somebody does a tag over it, a stencil, a part of it gets ripped away, and recreating a little bit of that feel within the fine art that I'm doing so that the work works on a couple of levels. From a few feet back, there's an iconic image that really projects to the front, but then there's a lot of other things that are more subtle that are going on. For example, I collect a lot of old newspaper clippings, and I'm building up these collages in the backgrounds of these things, and then I'm stenciling over it, and it's really gives me a lot of flexibility. If I don't like what I did, then I just add more collage and start building it up, and even more. And as opposed to a screen print that I think is really static, it's like very flat. There's a lot of subtlety and a lot of depth to the collage pieces. And then, they're all just big hand-cut stencils. There's some of the ones for this image right here. And when I make these images, eventually the stencils start to fall apart. So I do about 4 or 5 of them, and at the most, and then I retire the stencil. And one of the things that I always felt was important about my art was that it was accessible and populist, and so even though these take a lot longer than just doing a screen print, because I can make 4 or 5 of them, the prices still don't have to be outrageous to where people that I feel like can relate to my work, it's not priced out of their price range. And it's important to me to make stuff that is more, I guess accessible would be the best word. That that there's if I do one of these pieces, I can show it in LA, and then I can show another one in New York, and that's kind of important to me. Or this is the screen printed version of this image right here, which is just a 2-color, and it's an art piece as a $40 poster, but it's a lot more sophisticated as the stencil piece. There's a lot more going on, but somebody that's in college or something can afford the screen print and do an edition of 300 and I never reprint. So it's still limited, but it's something that people can have. So that's more or less what's been going on with me. I collect tons of different papers. I print my own papers. Like I print a lot of my own patterns. You can see that I've integrated my imagery into this pattern, and I'll screen this, and these end up being collaged in. So there's a lot of stuff to pick up on when you look in more closely at the images. So some of these are like photographs, like something like this Debbie Harry piece is got a lot of crap going on, or that Vivian Westwood. I don't even have all the newest stuff out here. It just I think it keeps getting better, but
Okay.
yeah, just trying to push it.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Say
Thank
bye.
you.